Hey friends, and welcome back to my studio. I have been working in this space for about a year now, and in this time, the way I practice and the way I'm using the space has changed a little bit. I've also noticed a few little annoyances in the space or systems that I've made that just are, not working optimally. So today I want to implement a couple of small improvements in this space that I think will have a big impact in the overall workflow and comfort of this space. So the first thing I did this morning was build a shelf underneath this table. So this table always had a beam going across the bottom, and I basically just attached a wooden plank on top of it, and this is going to make a nice little shelf for me to store things. Now, I don't want to just make storage for storage's sake. I want to have everything to have a purpose, because otherwise, I don't know about you guys, but I start to just get pack ready and just start throwing anything there. So this storage space is going to be for those bulky items that I need on both sides of the studio, because the table kind of splits the studio in two. And so my towels, my cloths, and my plastic, I'm going to store underneath the table. So now that that quick one is out of the way, let's move on to the next thing on my list, which is right behind me here, this whole setup. Okay, so here we have my little camera cabinet that I was calling it. As you can see, it's mostly empty. I have here my trash bins, which obviously are going to need a space, but I think that I would just want to get rid of this whole thing and extend the back shelf. I think the first step is to take apart this shelf. Okay, shelf is gone. So the plan is to move this piece over here so that this outlet can plug in here, because this guy right here, you don't know this, is my little charging station where I keep all my camera and stuff. So the shelf that I just took apart, that was originally where I was going to keep the camera on a tripod, but that just didn't work for me. So this cabinet is going to double as, drawers and my charging station, but it's also going to support the table that I'm extending here. I am realizing that I'm going to cover up this outlet completely with the cabinet, which is not ideal. It's always nice to have an extra outlet, especially because there's two, so that can be plugged into one. But I found another extension cord that I can plug in there, and then I'm just going to wrap it around the back of the cabinet and attach it to the side of the cabinet, so I can use that extension cord as an outlet. I don't know why all of these extension cords don't come with a way to screw them into the wall. This one does, which is so nice, because then you can just screw it in. But this one has a plug that doesn't fit in that little corner there. So I'm just going to try. In the past, I've tried different ways to attach these to things, and I'm going to try something new, which is gluing it to this board and then just gluing the board into the wall. I'm gonna use PVA glue. If you guys watched my video on the tile board that I made, you know that I'm a PVA glue convert, and I was very impressed by this stuff. I know there's some vents back here, but I'm not gonna put anything too crazy on here. It's gonna be for charging my phone. Okay, I'm just gonna let that dry. I had some wood left over from building my table, so I cut that up, and now I'm going to assemble it as one side of the support. So all I need to do is put this in here. I've got my two uprights, and then the board can just go on top. I have to briefly take my sign down because it's just a little bit, tiny bit too low, but it's actually going to be more secure when I'm done, because then it can also sit straight on top of the table and it's not just hanging from these 2 points. As you can see, the table is not quite straight. So what I need to do is wedge some wood underneath the tabletop to raise that, just like how I did with the other ones. By the way, I know that there's a gap here. This was intentional. This is for a future project, but I need some space along this wall. So you can look forward to that mystery project later on. I don't own a set for countersinking, so what I do is I'll just take a larger drill bit and just drill a tiny little bit in the top, and hopefully that will make the screw go completely into the tabletop. It works most of the time. I'm super happy with this. I feel like I made some really good progress today. Look at how much more space I have. And the sign fits just barely, but it's looking so nice up here. So there's just a few details that I have left to do. I'm going to fill in the screws with some wood filler. I'm going to oil everything down so it lasts a while longer. And I might extend the shelf. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to think on that a little bit longer. I definitely want to get some fabric to cover my trash bins. I'll also probably put a wooden panel over this gap here. This is something that I haven't done on the other ones yet either, just out of laziness. So I have a very important question to ask you guys, and this has been something I have been puzzling over for like, I don't know, a whole year. Since I started getting these cabinets. So all of these cabinets I got free. One of them is from my old apartment, and then the other two I just got free on eBay Kleinanzeigen. But they're very mismatched, and I cannot decide if I like how they look or if I really want to just paint them all one color. I know once I paint them, I can never go back to the original patina, so I'm quite hesitant to do it. Let me know what you think. Like, I think this shelf is so cute, but is it like too much? Is it chaos with all of these different shelves? Should I paint the other shelves to look more like this shelf? Although I couldn't with the veneer. I also have some very exciting plans for this back wall that I'm not going to tell you about yet. I don't know what came over me, but just the last 2 weeks, I've been thinking about all these ways to improve the studio. I'm probably going to do a few more of these videos. I don't know, it depends on how much you guys like this video. So definitely write down in the comments down below if you want to see more of these like studio improvement videos. I have like at least 5 more ideas. That's it for me today. I hope you guys have a lovely and creative day. Bye, friends.